All right, so we're diving into some fascinating source material today, and this one was actually a recommendation from you guys.
Oh, yeah,
The Proverbs of King Solomon. And wow, I got to say, it's an amazing collection.
it really is.
So much guidance on how to live a good life, how to think, how to interact with the world.
You know what's so interesting about it is that it's presented as this precious jewel for the church.
Mm,
And it's drawing from a much larger body of work. I mean, we're talking about the 3,000 parables that Solomon was known for.
Thousand.
Yeah, 3,000. That's what it says in First Kings.
It's hard to even imagine that volume of wisdom.
I know, and it's said that his servants actually compiled and wrote these down at his direction. So you get a sense of how important this stuff was even back then.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have this rich selection to explore.
We do.
And our goal in this deep dive is to really get to the heart of it. What are the key themes?
Right.
What's the practical advice we can take away?
What resonates, what still offers a fresh perspective, even after all this time. It's like unlocking ancient wisdom for modern understanding.
Exactly.
Okay, so the collection starts in a really deliberate way. Yeah. The first 9 chapters are like a grand entrance, a preface to draw you in.
Yeah, and the text actually refers to them as grave sentences and deep mysteries. Ooh, setting the stage for some profound wisdom before we even get to the parables themselves.
All right, so let's unpack this preface a bit, starting with this core idea of pursuing wisdom. Chapter 1 just hits you right away with this call to embrace wisdom and instruction.
Yeah, it does.
And what really struck me was that statement, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
Right.
And then it follows that up with fools despise wisdom and instruction. Yeah, that's pretty foundational.
It is. It suggests that true understanding, it's not just about intellectual capacity.
Right.
It starts with a fundamental respect, maybe even a sense of awe for something greater than yourself. You could think of fear here not so much as being scared, but as a deep reverence that guides your approach to knowledge. I like it. And the purpose it lays out is incredibly broad. It's about sharpening the minds of the simple, giving young people practical wisdom and good judgment, even deepening the learning of those who are already wise.
So it's for everyone.
It is. It's about wisdom that leads to fair, just, and sensible decisions in life.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Then chapter 2 dives into how we actually acquire this wisdom.
Right.
And it's not just passively received, is it?
No, not at all.
The text talks about actively accepting and valuing these words, searching for understanding with the same intensity you'd use to find silver or hidden treasures.
Yeah, like a real investment of effort.
Definitely.
It's portrayed as an act of seeking a deliberate choice you make.
Okay.
And the reward for this dedicated pursuit, according to Proverbs 2, is huge.
With that.
You will understand that reverence for the Lord and truly know God.
Wow.
And what's particularly interesting is that wisdom isn't just presented as intellectual enlightenment. It's also described as a form of protection, shielding you from harmful paths and those who try to twist truth with their words.
So it's practical as well as spiritual.
Exactly.
Okay. So chapter 3 then shifts the focus to how we should live once we are on this path of seeking wisdom.
Okay.
And there's this really direct instruction. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own wisdom.
Right.
Feels like a real call to humility, to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers ourselves.
It is. It's about recognizing the limits of our individual perspective and opening ourselves to a wisdom that transcends our own understanding.
And the blessings linked to this way of life are pretty substantial.
They are long life prosperity, not just material wealth, well-being,
right,
favor with others, and even physical health.
That's amazing.
The comparison of wisdom to something more precious than silver or gold and as a life-giving tree really emphasizes its value.
It's priceless.
Exactly.
But chapter 4 continues this theme of guidance.
Okay.
It's almost like a parent directly advising their child.
Right.
Get wisdom, get understanding, do not forget my words or turn away from them, really stressing that wisdom isn't just something to grab and then let go of.
It's something to hold on to tightly.
Horse for sure.
It's presented as both a shield, do not forsake her, and she will keep you, and a source of honor.
Okay.
The contrast drawn between the path of the righteous, which gets brighter and brighter, and the darkness of the wicked is such a powerful image.
It is.
It really highlights the consequences of our choices.
Yeah, and then that crucial instruction to guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life.
Right.
It highlights that our inner thoughts and intentions are the foundation of our actions.
For sure.
Then we get to chapter 8, and things get really interesting. Wisdom is personified.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like a voice calling out, offering instruction that's far superior to material wealth.
It is.
What's the impact of presenting wisdom in this way?
Well, personifying wisdom makes it more than just an abstract idea.
Okay.
It becomes almost an active force, a guiding principle with a voice and agency.
Wow.
What's striking is the claim wisdom makes about its role in creation.
Hmm.
The Lord brought me forth as the first of his works, before his deeds of old, before the earth.
Okay.
This elevates its importance, linking it to the very foundations of justice and the world itself.
That's huge.
And again, the promise to those who find wisdom is life and favor, while rejecting it is portrayed as a self-inflicted wound. It was right.
So the preface concludes with chapter 9, offering these contrasting invitations from wisdom and folly.
Yeah.
And wisdom is this generous host offering a feast of understanding,
Right.
while folly offers fleeting stolen pleasures that ultimately lead to destruction.
It's a very clear fork in the road being presented. It is. And it brings us back to that core idea from chapter 1. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Right.
Wisdom offers a path to genuine life and insight, whereas folly, despite its initial allure, is ultimately deadly.
Okay, so that's the captivating preface.
Right.
Now we move into the main body of the Proverbs.
Yes.
Which seems to offer more direct and practical guidance on how to navigate our conduct and our relationships.
For sure.
Right away in chapter 1, we see warnings about being tempted by those who are violent and greedy.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder of the dangers of negative peer influence, even way back then.
Absolutely. It highlights the seductive pull of quick riches and the risk of getting entangled in the destructive behavior of those who pursue them. The proverb points out the senselessness of their violence. They lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives.
Right.
Emphasizing the self-destructive nature of such paths.
Then chapter 5 delivers a powerful warning against infidelity, the strange woman, and the bitter consequences that follow.
Right.
It's beautifully contrasted with the blessings and joys of faithfulness within marriage, using such evocative imagery as, drink water from your own cistern, rejoice in the wife of your youth.
Yes, this chapter paints such a vivid picture of the allure of temptation and its ultimately devastating impact both emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
The imagery of honey turning bitter and smooth words leading to pain is very potent. And the positive reinforcement of marital love as a constant source of joy and satisfaction offers a clear and compelling alternative.
So chapter 6 then covers a really interesting range of behaviors.
Yeah.
We get the practical advice about not becoming surety for a neighbor.
Right.
Essentially co-signing a loan and taking on someone else's debt.
Exactly.
But then it shifts to the famous example of the ant as a symbol of hard work and planning.
No, yeah.
And then we have that striking list of 7 things the Lord hates. Right. It's quite a collection, including pride, lying, violence, and stirring up trouble.
It is.
Features feel like pretty fundamental ethical guidelines.
They do. The proverb uses the ant to illustrate the value of foresight and diligence, even without external pressure. And that list of 7 abominations really gets to the heart of actions and attitudes that are destructive to individuals and society.
Okay.
It covers not just outward behaviors like murder, but also internal states like pride and malicious intent.
So it's about our thoughts as well as our actions.
Exactly. The chapter also revisits the warning against adultery, underscoring its severe consequences.
So chapter 7 then gives us this almost like a mini drama.
Oh, yeah.
The story of the naive young man being seduced by the harlot.
Right?
The details are quite vivid, highlighting her cunning and manipulative language and the tragic outcome for the young man who succumbs.
It's a cautionary tale brought to life through narrative.
It is. By presenting it as a story, the proverb makes the danger more relatable and impactful. We see the young man as lacking judgment, easily swayed by the woman's deceptive words and actions.
For sure.
The comparison of him following her like an ox going to the slaughter is a stark and unforgettable image of the fatal consequences of giving in to temptation.
It is.
Now, chapters 10 through 31 are just packed with these concise, standalone proverbs.
Oh, yeah.
We can't possibly cover them all. Right. We can definitely touch on some of the major recurring themes, for sure. One that really stands out is the constant contrast between the wise and the foolish. Now, we see it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
A wise child brings joy to a father, but a foolish child is a grief to their mother. Proverbs 10.1.
Right.
The wise in heart accept commands, but a chattering fool comes to ruin. Proverbs 10.8.
Exact.
This opposition seems to be a central teaching tool.
It is. This continuous juxtaposition isn't just a literary device. It's a fundamental way Proverbs teaches.
Okay.
By constantly highlighting the different actions and outcomes of wisdom and folly. Right. It provides a clear and memorable guide for navigating life's choices.
Makes sense.
For instance, Proverbs 10.14 states, "Wise people store up knowledge, but the talk of a fool brings ruin near." Oh, yeah. It's a direct cause and effect being illustrated.
We also see a really strong emphasis on the importance and benefits of righteousness.
Right.
Proverbs 10.2 tells us that righteousness delivers from death. And later in 12.28 we read, "In the way of righteousness there is life along that path, is immortality."
It's presented as the ultimate path to a good and lasting life.
It is?
Righteousness in the context of Proverbs goes beyond just religious piety.
Totally like that.
It encompasses moral integrity, fairness,
Right?
and living in accordance with what is right and just. The Proverbs consistently link this kind of living with positive outcomes like safety guidance and enduring stability,
Okay.
contrasting it sharply with the destructive nature of wickedness.
Yeah.
Proverbs 11.4, for example, says, "Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death."
On the flip side, the Proverbs frequently highlight the dangers of wickedness and the fate of the wicked. Right. Proverbs 10.3 notes that the Lord withholds sustenance from the wicked. And 11.3 warns that the unfaithfulness of the treacherous will destroy them.
There's a real sense of consequences tied to these actions.
Yes, definitely.
The Proverbs consistently portray wickedness as a path leading to downfall.
Right.
Whether that's material loss, social shame, or ultimately spiritual ruin.
Okay.
The language used is often quite strong, emphasizing the instability and eventual collapse of those who choose this path. Proverbs 12.7 states, "The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stands firm."
Another theme that really resonates is the value of hard work and diligence versus laziness.
Oh, for sure.
I have the famous line about learning from the ant in Proverbs 6.6.
Right.
And that's echoed in verses like 10.4. "Lazy hands make a person poor, but diligent hands bring wealth." And the very description of the overgrown vineyard in 24.3034 was a clear promotion of a strong work ethic.
Absolutely. Proverbs strongly emphasizes the importance of industry, careful planning, and avoiding idleness.
Makes sense?
Slothfulness is consistently linked to poverty and ruin, while diligence is presented as a key factor in achieving prosperity and security. That image of a neglected field overgrown with thorns and weeds serves as a powerful visual of the consequences of neglecting responsibility.
The power and significance of our speech is another recurring topic.
Yeah, it is.
So we see it in Proverbs 10.11. "The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life," and the very direct warning in 18.21. "The tongue has the power of life and death."
It's a potent reminder of the impact our words can have on ourselves and others.
It is.
Proverbs pays a great deal of attention to how we use language,
Right.
highlighting its capacity to both heal and to harm. Wise and righteous speech is associated with life, encouragement, and blessing,
Okay.
while foolish and malicious speech leads to destruction and conflict.
So choose your words carefully.
Exactly. Proverbs 15.1 offers a simple yet profound insight. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger.
Then we find numerous insights into the complexities of our relationships,
Yeah.
both positive and negative.
Right.
The value of true friendship is highlighted in 17.17. "A friend loves at all times." But we also get warnings about difficult relationships. Like in 21.9, "Better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife."
Relationships seem to be a crucial area where wisdom is essential.
They do. Proverbs recognizes the profound influence our relationships have on our overall well-being.
For sure.
It encourages loyalty, love, and good counsel in friendships and within families,
Right.
while cautioning against toxic influences and destructive patterns of relating.
Yeah. The proverb about the contentious spouse really underscores how draining and unpleasant constant conflict within the home can be.
And we also see specific warnings against negative character traits like pride, anger, envy, and greed.
Absolutely.
Proverbs 16.18 famously states, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall."
Right.
These seem to be presented as root causes of many other problems we face.
They are. These negative emotions and attitudes are seen as undermining wisdom and leading to harmful actions and decisions. Proverbs repeatedly cautions against them, emphasizing the importance of humility, self-control, and contentment. Yeah. Envy, for example, is describing Proverbs 14.30 as rottenness to the bones, highlighting its deeply corrosive nature.
The Proverbs even touch on the responsibilities of leaders and the importance of justice, noting in 16.12 that kings that test wrongdoing for a throne is established through righteousness.
It suggests that wisdom isn't just for individual conduct, but also for those in positions of authority.
That's an important point.
Proverbs offers guidance for rulers, emphasizing the necessity of fairness, integrity, and just judgment.
Okay.
A righteous leader is seen as bringing stability and prosperity to the nation,
Right.
while a wicked one leads to oppression and ruin.
Interesting.
Proverbs 29.4 states, "By justice, a king gives stability to his nation, but one who is greedy for bribes tears it down."
The importance of discipline and instruction, particularly in raising children,
Yes.
is another clear theme that emerges.
For sure.
Proverbs 13.18 says, "Whoever disregards discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored."
Right.
And we have the well-known advice on child rearing in places like 22.6. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they're old, they will not turn from it.
Indeed, Proverbs emphasizes that consistent and loving correction and instruction are vital for shaping character and guiding young people onto the right path. Neglecting to provide discipline is seen as harmful, while embracing guidance leads to respect and understanding.
And we also get observations on wealth and poverty.
Yeah.
Such as Proverbs 10.15. "The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but poverty is the ruin of the poor." And then, of course, there's the detailed description of a virtuous woman in Proverbs 31.
Oh, yeah.
It really feels like no aspect of daily life is left unaddressed.
That's right. Proverbs offers a comprehensive perspective on how to live well, touching on a wide range of practical concerns, from managing finances to building strong family relationships. The portrait of the virtuous woman in chapter 31 serves as an ideal, highlighting qualities like diligence, wisdom in managing her household, and care for the needy,
Right.
all of which contribute to her honor and her family's well-being.
It's truly amazing how these ancient insights still feel so relevant today.
Me too.
The pursuit of wisdom, the importance of ethical behavior, the complexities of our relationships.
Right.
These are timeless human experiences that haven't changed all that much.
They haven't. The Proverbs tap into fundamental truths about human nature and the principles that tend to lead to a flourishing life regardless of the specific cultural context.
Right.
While some of the societal norms of the time might differ, the core wisdom remains incredibly applicable.
So as we conclude this deep dive into the Proverbs of King Solomon, what's the key enduring lesson that stands out for you?
For me, the overarching takeaway is that the Proverbs offer a timeless and deeply practical guide for navigating life with wisdom and integrity. They stress the vital importance of actively seeking understanding, rooted in a profound respect for a moral order.
Okay.
And they provide incredibly insightful counsel on how to conduct ourselves and build our relationships in ways that lead to genuine well-being.
Right.
And help us avoid the pitfalls of foolishness.
That's a fantastic way to summarize it. Thank you. It's definitely given me a lot to reflect on. And for you, our listener, I'd encourage you to consider this. Which of these ancient proverbs resonates most powerfully with what you're currently experiencing in your life? How might applying that wisdom offer a new perspective on the challenges or opportunities you're facing?
Right.
And perhaps take some time to further explore this idea of the fear of the Lord as presented in Proverbs.
Okay.
Is it simply about reverence, or does it hold a deeper significance in our ongoing pursuit of wisdom and understanding?
Great question.
It's a journey of discovery that continues to yield valuable insights. Thanks for exploring these depths with us.